And one of the pieces of artwork that I chose to do was the Minoan Octopus Vase. Here you can see an example of such a vase. This is the specific piece that I chose. As we can see that there is a very sprawling octopus across here with different sea life, such as coral, maybe anemone, and a nice, very round, thin-walled vase with little handles. So the Minoans had a very strong relationship with the sea. They were very influenced by the sea for their artwork, as we can see from the marine style pottery, which is what the Minoan vase, octopus vase is. The Thalos Carita is Thalos is Greek for sea, and Krita is Greek for power. They were sea power, and the Egyptian called them the sea people. The sea was really important for them for trade, bringing human tributes for religious purposes, luxuries, and movement of artisans all across the Mediterranean to several different places, as Minoan art was very highly advanced and sought after and valued by different cultures that saw it as a symbol of power because it was really well made. So we can see that the Minoans here in Knos were at the center of a very vast trade network. They would ship goods to Italy, to Cyprus, to Egypt, and back up to mainland Greece. The products that they shipped ranged from pottery, which is one of the ways that we know that they have such vast networks. They also had shipped woods and golds and different food products such as olive oil and things like that. So now the analysis of this piece of pottery is it was a symbol for the wealthy. It was only people who had money that were able to buy the Minoan pots. Very similar to how high quality art now is typically reserved for the rich. Of course, there was pottery and cups that the lower classes would use, but highly unlikely that this beautiful pot was for a servant, per se. This pot, as I said before, is in the marine style, as we can see from this gorgeous octopus and the marine life, because it was inspired by the sea, by them looking at nature and being inspired to recreate that. It's anthropomorphic, meaning that the subject itself is represented in the object itself. So we see this beautiful bulging head as the jug, and these little handles could be seen as abstract little tentacles. The walls of the vase were able to be very thin because of an increase in the speed of their pottery wheels. As they got better, they were able to make thinner and thinner walls. This pot was made from fine Mediterranean clay, which gives it its reddish color. Here are some examples of the marine style. As you can see all throughout these examples, there's different marine life. There's a few more with octopus or squids, a few with what looks like scales from fish, or maybe a fishing net. But this marine style was heavily influenced by the sea, as the Minoans very much loved the sea and they liked to show their appreciation. So also with this pot is the slip itself. So we see a very abstracted appearance of the octopus itself. It is almost cartoon-like with its bulging head and round eyes, and we can see each of the tentacles, which is not very realistic because of the different ways that tentacles curve. You wouldn't see all of the suckers all the time. So it's a very limited, has a very limited realism. It has a abstracted appearance, which comes probably from some of the plaster and the timer strengths. Since it dries quickly, it's a lot easier to do very broad fluid strokes rather than teeny tiny details to get a very even look. The slip that Minoans applied to their pots were red, brown, and black, and they were typically applied on a light surface, though they later started playing with the inverse effect. So why would Minoans make an octopus vase? Minoans love the sea, and they love to show that appreciation in their artwork. They also depended on the sea for economic reasons, and they would often see glimpses of sea creatures in their day-to-day life, and probably would want to capture some of that mystery of a animal that would dip back into the sea. And they observed nature for their artwork. Plus, why wouldn't you want to make something with this gorgeous octopus? Thank you.